afternoon. The April 9th, 2025 meeting of Parks, Public Utilities, and Technology Committee will come to order. It is 2:04 p.m. I'm Joy Hollingsworth, Chair of the committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Kettle,
Here.
Councilmember Rivera, Councilmember Strauss, Council President Nelson,
Present.
Chair Hollingsworth.
Here.
There are 3 council members present.
And thank you. And for the record, Councilmember Strauss is excused today. Last week, we heard from Seattle Public Utilities, City Light, and our attorney's office on the environmental cleanup efforts on the lower Duwamish Waterway Superfund site. On our agenda, we're going to take a look at that ordinance that will authorize utilities and Seattle City Light to expend funds for that. So it's a fun agenda, pretty simple and straightforward. I know that we have had executive sessions. We also had a presentation, council members that have briefing, and we will be voting today, and hopefully everyone feels confident about that. We will now consider the agenda. If there's no objections, the agenda will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the agenda is adopted. And for the record, we are joined by Councilmember Rivera. Is here. So we have 4 council members present. Thank you, Councilmember Rivera. Now we're going to jump into the hybrid public comment period. Public comments should relate to items on today's agenda or be within the purview of the committee. Clerk, how many speakers do we have signed up?
We have 2 in person and 1 remote.
Awesome. Thank you to the 2 in person who came all the way down here at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday to give public comment. I appreciate that. Will you please read the instructions for public comment?
The public comment period will be moderated in the following manner. I'll call on the speakers by name in the order they are registered, both on council's website or from the sign-up sheet available here in chambers. We'll start with the in-person speakers first. And if you have not registered to speak but would like to, you can sign up before the end of the public comment period on the council's website or by signing up on the sign-up sheet near the public comment microphone. When speaking, please begin by stating your name and the item you are addressing. Speakers will hear a chime when 10 seconds are left of the allotted time. If speakers do not end their comments at the end of the allotted time provided, the speaker's microphone will be muted to allow us to call on the next person. And the first speaker for in-person public comment is Tim Price.
Hey, Mr. Tim, welcome.
Hi, thank you for taking time. Can you guys
Give us
hear me
1
clearly?
second. We're going to do the clock. Give us 1 second. Each speaker is going to get 2 minutes. My
All right.
apologies. You're all good. Just give us 1 second, and we'll wait till that pops up. Just give us a quick second. Awesome. You're ready to rock and roll. You good? You good?
All right, hope you can hear me clearly. I thank you guys for allowing me this opportunity to speak with you. I know normally this is a time frame where you hear grievances and complaints and things of that nature, but I come with a different energy. My name is Tim Price, and I represent a worldwide company known as ICOM America. We provide two-way radios for entities worldwide for secure radio communication, and we have a very unique opportunity where we're seeking a partnership with the city of Seattle, where we absorb the cost to provide radios for you for events, anything relevant to technology, parks, what mind you, and hopefully it'll be an opportunity that will help save money from budgets, and also it provides a means for us to understand our products, to know how to market it worldwide. I want to take advantage of this platform to extend this offer to the city, leave my business card with those who are appropriate, so that way we could talk about it more in detail, and I'm hoping it could be a beneficial, mutual situation that we could take advantage of. And that's literally all that I'm here to do.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate the public comment period and you utilizing it to promote your business. That's a first. But that's we appreciate it. I know that council members, we are not I don't want to say allowed to, but it's not within our purview to direct different departments to who to partner with, but you're more than welcome to leave your comment or your public comment in the box in your card, and then my suggestion would be to go online during the portal for different contractors to find all those opportunities.
Perfect. And I was going to clear one thing up, and I don't want to transgress the purpose of this. It's not really for promotion. It's literally just to get things in hands free to the city. And we're hoping it could be a help in that partnership. But I will leave my information in the box.
Please
as
do.
stated.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I'm assuming it's Mr. Alex Zimmerman. Welcome.
Thank you. Sie Heil, Dirty Damn Nazi Gestapo Fascists. My name Alex Zimmerman, Trump, MAGA, 6,000 day of trespass, and 5 times you prosecute me. No analogy in state Washington, maybe in whole human history. I'm not too much sure. Ma'am, I'm very respect you. I think in you like a consul, like a woman, like a black, have too many privilege, you know what this means. And I think people cut your privilege almost for 100%, maybe 59, yeah, maybe 60, I'm not too much sure. And I spoke about this for many years. People who have meeting 2 o'clock different from consul who have meeting 9:30. And I talked to your staff before a couple times. You need to rotate this probably every 2 months. Give equal to everybody. Because people right now in Seattle and around right now, in all County almost right now, traffic 9:30 absolutely stupid. It's a nightmare. I live this 40 years, I never seen like this before. So people maybe want talking to you, maybe one talking from upstairs, it's okay with me too. But you're supposed to be changes, you know what this mean? Make everybody equal, because right now 9:30 for 4 years, and another 2 o'clock for another 4 years. So people who have meeting, for example, in 2 o'clock, lose their privilege. And I talked to you before, and for many years I talking. Make rotation, sorry for I speak not exactly about agenda, but I think this is very important because it's cut privilege for people who speak only one level, is people speaking another level. Stand up America for Donald Trump, make everybody common sense. That's a key what is we need right now. Common sense, stand up America.
Thank you. Well, you think me as a black woman is privileged. Thank you.
We will now
I
move
think
to
it's a gift. I'm blessed. If I would come back as a person to be a black woman, honestly. All right. Next person online.
We'll now move to the remote public comment. Once I call the speaker's name, please press *6 to begin. David Haynes.
Press *6, Mr. Haynes, and you're ready to give your public comment.
All right, thank you, David Haynes. You know how council has oversight on the Duwamish cleanup? It would be great if council made a rule or a law within the public-private partnership of that cleanup where it required the contractor to bring 2 full shifts onto the job site to expedite getting the job done and to make sure that one individual operating some piece of equipment doesn't have the proper resource and support to stop what they're dredging from basically escaping back into the river and not being isolated the way it's supposed to be when they're making the efforts to clean it up. Pay into a fund and then let some contractor who's going to pad the cost of the labor and pad the cost of the equipment and then shortchange the effort by not putting enough workers on site, because some of the workers were supposed to be the owners who don't show up to do any work. But sometimes they pad up to 60 to 70% of all the money that's being paid into a project. And nobody in oversight is keeping them honest about their lack of diligent work on the job site that's delaying cleaning up the Duwamish. If you really cared about it, you would make a rule that said, if we're paying into this fund, the contractors have to pony up 2 full shifts, with Public Works keeping them honest about their efforts instead of just having a couple dudes moving some equipment around to make it seem like they're working hard for the people while the whole time they're padding the cost And we don't have anybody in oversight keeping them honest. All we got is pump pullers and closers. So please consider double shifts and full shifts on all these projects so we can get some things done around here.
Thank you, Mr. Haynes. If there are no more speakers signed up, the hybrid public comment period is closed. Thank you all who came to speak in public, and then also for our online callers. Will the clerk please read agenda item number 1 into the record?
Agenda item 1, an ordinance relating to the Lower Duwamish Waterway, authorizing Seattle City Light and Seattle Public Utilities to continue expending funds to participate in environmental investigation and remediation of the Lower Duwamish Waterway Superfund site. For briefing, discussion, possible vote, presenting is Brian Goodnight from Council Central Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Goodnight. Looking sharp as ever today, I might add. And please introduce yourself for the record and go ahead and explain what we are going to be voting on today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, council members. Brian Goodnight from your Council Central Staff. As you mentioned earlier at the committee's prior meeting on March 26th, the committee received a presentation from Seattle Public Utilities, Seattle City Light, and the City Attorney's Office on Council Bill 120960, which is related to the Lower Duwamish Waterway Superfund site. As a brief reminder, the Superfund site is a 5-mile stretch of the Duwamish River between Harbor Island in the north and an area known as the Turning Basin in the south. Since the year 2000, the city has been working with the Environmental Protection Agency, the Washington State Department of Ecology, King County, the Port of Seattle, and Boeing to investigate contamination and explore remediation options for the waterway. The EPA issued a proposed cleanup plan in 2013 and subsequently selected a cleanup remedy in 2014 in what is known as a record of decision. In 2023, the EPA issued notice to the city and the other parties requiring entry into consent decree negotiations to fully implement the 2014 record of decisions cleanup provisions. And then after 18 months of negotiation, the city, the county, and Boeing reached agreements with the EPA and the State Department of Ecology on terms for the consent decree. So the purpose of Council Bill 120960 is to allow SPU and City Light to continue participating in the cleanup activities, including expending funds for contamination investigation and remediation in the Lower Duwamish Waterway and related sites, accepting funds from other responsible parties to implement the consent decree, and seeking and accepting grant funds from the state for cleanup activities. The council is not being asked to approve the actual consent decree or the related settlement agreements with other parties because that's authority rests with the city attorney's office. Rather, the council is just being asked to authorize SPU and City Light to make expenditures consistent with the consent decree and its commitments beyond the current budget cycle. And this type of authority is allowable under state law for public utilities. And then lastly, I'll just briefly touch on the estimated costs for the efforts, both for the city and overall. SPU estimates that over the 30-year project period, the cleanup costs will total about $757 million for all parties, with the city being responsible for 31.5% of those costs, or about $238 million. One of the benefits for entering into the consent decree for the city is that it will be able to receive settlement funds from other responsible parties. The city expects to receive about $88 million in settlement funds, and also the EPA will waive about $11 million in oversight costs. So that brings the city's responsibility down to around $140 million over 30 years. And the executive is hopeful that the city could also receive funding from state grant sources covering about half of those costs. Ultimately, any costs to cover cleanup activities will come from SPU and City Light funds, and both of the departments have been including those costs in their current forecasts and into their rate structures. That concludes my brief summary of the bill, and of course, as you can see behind me, we have SPU, City Light, and the Attorney's Office if there are any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Goodnight. And I know that, and I had said this before, I know that we've had some briefings and some executive sessions and some information. So I want to pause here to see if any of my colleagues have any questions potentially at all. I'm looking to the right. Council President Nelson?
Brian, I heard you say 30-year project. So it's really going to take that long, 30 years to completion. And could you please, it's my understanding that there has already been some work related to the cleanup. So could you also just remind me what that was?
Yeah, that's correct. The city and its partners have been performing cleanup costs for the last 5 or so years, I believe. I'd have to bring up staff if you'd like me to answer further questions. I think the 30-year project, that's the estimate. I think this will require remediation for the long term and monitoring, but I think we needed some reasonable time frame to estimate the cost period.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense that there's monitoring that is continuous, so thank you.
Would you like any staff, Council President,
No,
to come up?
that was my
Okay.
answer.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure. I don't know if Councilmember Kettle or Councilmember Rivera, I don't want to put you all on the spot, but if you have any questions, just let me know. No? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think, well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Brian Goodnight, for the overview and also preparing all the information for us to get to this point. And then also Seattle Public Utilities for all the work that you all are doing on the Lower Duwamish Waterway, but also, having just very a thoughtful approach to this and wanting to be good stewards of our land to make sure that we are protecting it, obviously for future generations as well. And most importantly, the people that live along the Lower Duwamish and understanding, some of the challenges and difficulties that they're experiencing right now with, with some of the environmental situations that are going on. So just want to thank you all as well. Councilmember Kettle.
Thank you, Chair Hollingsworth. Just a question, nothing related to the agenda item, but I think it would be very helpful to maybe have a committee meeting underway where we tour, waterside from Harbor Island down to the Turning Basin and back, and just get a sense of this area. I'm not sure if that's possible. I'm not sure if SPU has periodic, underway boat launch, kind of review or something, along those lines. But it would be helpful just to put eyes on and get a sense of the entirety of the project, and understand the different pieces of it too. And there's other pieces that come into this as well in terms of, the CSOs and the like. And I think it would just be helpful to see it from the water as opposed to driving over it, driving by it, and those kinds of look angles. I think. So I just wanted to ask if that would be something that would be possible, maybe through a coordination with the SPU. Thank you.
I see heads nodding with Bob, my favorite Hennessy, Bob Hennessy, nodding. I think that's something that we can be able to do. Thank you for that suggestion, Councilmember Kettle. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and move that the committee recommend passage of Council Bill 120960. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. A second and third. It has been moved and second and third to recommend forth the passage of this council bill. Will the clerk please call the roll on the committee recommendation of Council Bill 120960?
Councilmember Kettle?
Aye.
Councilmember Rivera?
Aye.
Council President Nelson?
Aye.
Chair Hollingsworth?
Yes.
There are 4 in favor, none opposed.
Wonderful. The motion carries, and the committee recommendation to confirm this appointment, this bill, Council Bill 120960, will be sent to the Tuesday, April 15th City Council meeting. If there's any more, first of all, let me thank everyone for that. I know this is a long process, so really appreciate us getting to this point. And if there's no other items on the agenda today, if there's no further business, I see Council President Nelson, your hand is up.
I just wanted to echo your gratitude, Chair, because to SPU staff, because I do know, and I've noted before that my involvement with it goes way, way back to the early 2000s, and I know yours precedes that is even before that. And so thank you very much for your hard and diligent work getting us to this point. And it's not over. So thank you.
It's only the beginning. Thank you, Council President. If there's no further business for the committee, I will say that this is breaking the record for our fastest committee meeting for our Parks, Utilities, and Technology, which is not usually what Councilmember Kettle does in his Public Safety Committee meeting. Shots fired at you. get shots fired, public safety. Okay, this concludes the April 9th meeting of the Parks, Public Utilities, Technology. Our next meeting is going to be scheduled for Wednesday, April 23rd at 2 p.m. The current time right now is 2:23 p.m. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair.
Thank you.